Everybody loves a good mystery. But what happens when a mystery never has its satisfying ending? In today's video, we'll tell you about 10 mysterious cases that are still unsolved. These cases are strange, creepy, and frustratingly without a conclusion. They are some of the most baffling unsolved mysteries of our time. But before we move any further, make sure you subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon. Number 10. The Cape Intruder. In 2005, victims in Cape Elizabeth, Maine, who left their doors unlocked at night, would awaken in the morning to a fleeting glimpse of a guy peering at them. The man would leave the area before they could respond. There was no theft. No one got hurt or died. He did nothing but watch them fall asleep. The Cape Intruder evaded capture for years. He briefly broke in August, December, and February, but never again. Number 9. The SS Ourang Medan. Ships passing through the Straits of Malacca in 1947 overheard a distress call with the disturbing message: all officers, including the captain, and the entire crew are dead. The Ourang Medan was located by the American ship Silver Star after it responded to the distress call. The bodies of the Dutchmen were scattered over the deck, and judging by the expressions on their faces, it appeared as though they had seen something horrifying just before they perished. It exploded as soon as the tow line was hooked, destroying all of its secrets in the process. Many people believe that the Dutch ship was transporting dangerous substances like nitroglycerin and potassium cyanide. The cargo and seawater may have combined, releasing hazardous fumes and poisoning the crew. The explosion would be brought on by nitroglycerin. Number 8. The Glico-Moringa Case. Izaki Glico, the CEO of a Japanese company, was kidnapped in 1984. They demanded 100 kilograms of gold bars and 1 billion yen in ransom. When Izaki was able to flee 3 days later, their preparations were revealed. A few weeks later, fires were started in the parking area of the company's headquarters. The letter threatening the company and alleging that its candy was poisoned with potassium cyanide soda was addressed in the monster with 21 faces. Due to the product's forced removal from the shelves, Glico suffered a $21 million loss and had to fire 450 part-time employees. They tortured Glico for months before turning their attention to Marudai Ham, House Foods Corporation, and Fujiya. The fox-eyed man, the primary suspect, was observed by an investigator posing as an employee. After failing to apprehend the fox-eyed man, Police Superintendent Yamamoto committed suicide a year later. The monster with 21 faces released its final letter to the media 5 days after the victim's passing, announcing its decision to stop threatening food firms, but it was never apprehended. Number 7. The Jeanette de Palma Case. The body of Jeanette de Palma, 16, who had been missing for 6 weeks, was discovered in 1972 during a police search on top of a cliff in Springfield. As soon as she passed away, speculation about what happened started to circulate. Many people think her body was placed on a makeshift altar, since the hill where she was found was covered with occult markings. Many people, including some police officers, attribute De Palma's use as a site for a human sacrifice to a coven of witches, often known as Satanists. Many of the case's specifics were later destroyed by a flood. However, other local newspaper accounts state that because of her severely decayed remains, investigators were unable to ascertain the exact cause of death. Was she a sacrifice of a human, or did the truth be concealed despite these suspicions? Maybe nobody will ever find out. Number 6. The Boy in the Box. The remains of a small kid were discovered inside a cardboard box on February 25, 1957, in some Philadelphia, Pennsylvania woods. Given the chilly temperature, the youngster had likely been deceased for a few days or weeks. He was thought to be between the ages of 4 and 6. The youngster, who was malnourished and covered with bumps and scars, passed away from repetitive head injuries. Although new forensic evidence has identified him as Joseph Augustus Zarelli, the cause of his death was a mystery for many years. The case was significantly broken when his identity was revealed. When they spoke with a woman going by M in 2003, who said that her controlling mother killed the boy in a fit of wrath, they reopened the case. The investigation was also terminated due to M's mental instability, making the boy America's unknown child, and his horrifying death an unsolved mystery. Number 5. The dead woman who named her killer. When Teresita Baza was discovered dead in 1977, her stolen jewelry was still missing. Coworker Remy Chua started experiencing frequent dreams and glimpses of Baza. She started communicating with Baza's soul, detailing the crime in its entirety. She said that when Alan Showery attacked her, he was assisting Baza with her television. Then he murdered her. The spirit said that Showery's common-law wife received her valuables. Although the police were first dubious, they were able to convict the guy of the crime and sentence him to 14 years in prison after discovering the Baza's jewels on Showery's wife. Unfortunately, there was insufficient evidence to sustain his conviction. But was her killer actually identified by Baza's ghost? Maybe Chua had some knowledge of the case's details and pretended that a spirit was controlling her. Whatever brought cops to the murder is still a mystery. Number 4. The severed feet mystery. Since 2007, several feet have turned up on British Columbian beaches. The matter has never been fully resolved, and there are numerous ideas as to whom the feet belong to, with the occasional hoax feet being tossed in. Many people think that the feet belong to someone who died after jumping off a bridge. However, others suspect that the feet were connected to a plane crash on a nearby island, because only feet and no other body parts were discovered, which is unusual. Others speculate that because the shoes were all made before 2004, they were among the victims of the 2004 Asian tsunami. Whatever their origins, these feet have perplexed people for a long time. Number 3. The Tara Calico Case. In Belen, New Mexico, on the morning of September 20, 1988, Tara Calico took her mother's bike out for a spin. She never came back. In April 1988, while out turkey hunting with his father in the same region as Calico, 9-year-old Michael Henley vanished. All of the leads led nowhere until a year later, when a picture of a young girl her age and the missing boy, both gagged, was discovered. The Polaroid picture was discovered in a Florida parking lot of a junior food store. But despite this, many specialists reject the picture because there isn't any supporting proof. Michael Henley was hunting in the Zuni Mountains in 1990 when his body was discovered there. Eventually, Calico's parents would pass away, without ever learning who had taken their daughter. Number 2. The Taman Shud Case. A body in perfect condition was discovered on Somerton Beach in Adelaide, Australia, early on December 1, 1948. Taman Shud was written on a piece of evidence, discovered in the man's pants hidden pocket. The word ending was translated by public library staff from a poem collection by Omar Khayyam called the Rubaiyat. They discovered the book and a nurse's phone number written on the back seat of a man's automobile. Army officer Alfred Boxall received a copy of the Rubaiyat from the nurse. However, they denied having any link to the deceased. Although many believe it may have been a suicide given the book's premise of having no regrets when life ends, they never pursued the case further. However, the lawsuit was never resolved. Number 1. The Zodiac Killer. Most criminals keep their misdeeds hidden, but Zodiac, as he called himself, was anything but. He frightened San Francisco between 1968 and 1969 with his murderous rampage, while poking fun at the police in his scrambled letters to the local paper. While he claims to have killed 37 people, at least 5 murders have been directly linked to him. The Zodiac Killer would continue to murder people and leave the police with maddening evidence. Coded letters, anonymous phone calls, the cross circle writing on victims' automobiles, sending over blood-stained clothing, and testimonies from survivors, but they never managed to find him. That's all for the Unsolved Mysteries. Please share your thoughts in the comments section below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon. Thanks for watching.